Breaking news out of Seymour Knox Plaza. The Buffalo Sabres have traded longtime Sabres defenseman Rasmus Ristolainen to the Philadelphia Flyers for a first-round pick in this year's draft, tonight's NHL draft, which would be the 13th overall selection in that draft, as well a second-round pick in a couple years and a defenseman, Brendan Haig. Hag. Really, with all due respect to the defenseman, Ryan Thomas here. Thank you for joining me on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast audio quick take. Rasmus Ristolainen traded to the Philadelphia Flyers. What are my thoughts on the trade? Quick audio clip here for the show's listeners to tune into. This is a phenomenal trade by Buffalo Sabres general manager Kevin Adams, and I'm going to tell you why. The fact that the Sabres were able to acquire a first-round draft choice for Rasmus Ristolainen, if you would have told me that yesterday, that I'd wake up today, one day later, and the Sabres were able to trade Rasmus Ristolainen to Philly, I would have told you, okay, what do we get, a second, a third, maybe a second and a third? No, we got a top 15 pick in this year's NHL draft, as well as a second-round pick a couple years down the road in next year's draft or the year after. Details on that. I'm really only zeroing in on the fact that we have two picks now in the top 15, the first overall selection, which could be Owen Power, Matty Beiners, or someone else. I'm leaning towards the fact that it could be Owen Power due to the fact that Risto was just traded. That would make sense, right? Wow, what a great deal by Kevin Adams. I really love this trade for the Sabres. I'm not going to enjoy watching Rasmus Ristolainen, a longtime Sabre, line up on the blue line for Philly. I hate seeing any Sabre line up for the Philadelphia Flyers that spent his career here in Buffalo. But in the 8 years that Rasmus Ristolainen spent with the Buffalo Sabres, did he have a phenomenal season? No. Did he have a good season? No. Did he have a fair season? Yes. And to say that he had a fair season as a top-line NHL defenseman generating 22, 23 minutes a night, that even 25, 28 minutes a night of ice time in some cases, he was never really that great here in Buffalo. It was time to move on. It's been time to move on. This speculation has been running rampant for years, and the fact the Sabres finally got it done and to get a first-round pick, I like the move. If this is the only move that Kevin Adams makes during the NHL draft, I would be happy with it. I think we got plenty more moves to come. I think Kevin Adams is working the trade phone lines all night long. I could easily expect to see not only Rasmus Ristolainen traded, I could see Sam Reinhart traded, Jack Eichel traded. I could see a lot of pieces moving on to a new team tonight during this NHL draft. I will be back on my show sometime in the next few days, so stay tuned as I recap the 2021 NHL draft. I'm Ryan Thomas. That was the quick version of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. My thoughts on the Sabres trading Rasmus Ristolainen.